Enterprise development, it's called ED for short. You can bear your own inferences from that. But is it working or is it failing? Allon Raiz is the Chief Executive Officer of Raizcorp. If it was working, we wouldn't be sitting around talking about it all the time, would we?
Bruce, it is working. It's just working in pockets. And that's really what I'm pushing, is to ensure that those pockets get bigger and bigger over time. In the places where it is working, it's working because of a quality intervention versus a quantity intervention.
Okay, how big are the pockets?
Well, I can speak for Raizcorp. That's a big pocket. We're looking after 230 businesses. We've made 8 millionaires in the last year, 6 millionaires the year before. And when I talk about millionaires, I'm talking about net asset value, not turnover.
Sure.
And I know of various other programs as well within South Africa that are also doing some great work.
Okay, so we need another 10,000 Raizcorps, basically, but you're talking about quality versus quantity. Now, another 10,000 Raizcorps may go somewhere to address the problem, but maybe more would fail than succeed.
Yeah, so when I talk about quality, I'm talking about finding the individuals, the entrepreneurs, which have the ability to grow businesses and employ people. So if you look over the last 10 years that we've been doing this, we've put through 800 businesses through our various programs, and that's in a high-touch environment. That's not to mention the thousands of people in the low-touch environment, but I'm talking about a high-touch environment. Currently, 230 businesses employing 6,500 people. That's a lot of people per business.
How do you identify a high-touch versus a low-touch candidate?
So we look for a high-touch individual who we can grow. So we look to their characteristics. We never look at the business plan per se, because we know that business plans do not equal reality.
Well, business plans change the moment the first shot's fired, so therefore it become pointless.
100%. So we look to the individual, to their characteristics. Do they have the ability to learn? Are they flexible? Do they have father issues? And a whole bunch of other characteristics which we look for in them. And then we look to see if the business has 4 wheels. If it has 4 wheels, it's not important to us whether it's profitable or not. It's whether the entrepreneur has the ability to grow this business. And that's what we're doing.
Elaborate on father issues.
There was a study by Collins and Moore a while ago which showed that if you have a father issue, if your father was not present physically or emotionally to you, you're far more likely to be a successful entrepreneur. If you have an overdoting mother, you also are far more likely to be a successful entrepreneur, and the combination is just wonderful for us.
So the message to fathers really is, don't go home.
Yeah.
And your kids will be successful and look after you in your old age, I suspect, on that particular point.
They might not like you.
They might not like you, but they should be grateful for the opportunity you gave them.
Yeah.
How you talk about finding entrepreneurs, but in this day and age, do you go out and find them, or do they find you?
Well, we've been fortunate over the 11 years that we've been operating now. Word of mouth has got out, and we get on average between 20 and 40 inquiries per day to join us. And then we select from that 1 in 20, 1 in 30 will get into our programs. So we still advertise, we still look for entrepreneurs, but that's opposed to some programs which, I'm going to be speaking about today about a program. 981 people went on this program, New Venture Creation Program. Out of 981 people, 0, not even 1 succeeded. And that's what I'm talking about. You can put people in a room, but what for? The only person who makes money is the training company and perhaps the caterer.
It's kind of difficult, though, when you look at it and say those 980. Out of those 980, there are probably 400, maybe 500 companies that will survive and will do okay and will sustain a family in their lifetime. But when it comes to enterprise development, you're not interested in mom-and-pop shops.
No. I mean, they have a space. They have a space. And just by the way, in the 981, not 400, 0 even succeeded, not even 1.
So do they all? No,
they all failed.
They all failed.
All failed.
Okay.
Every single
so the
one.
process worked.
Yeah, for the training company,
Yeah.
sure, but not for the individuals. So yes, mom and pop shops have a space, very important space. But when we're looking for jobs, we're looking for businesses with the ability to employ people. I particularly feel that South Africa needs to be focusing on companies that can build 10 employees. That's really my space. I think that's a very important space for South Africa relative to our ecosystem.
When you look at the 1 in 20 or 1 in 30 who come through your door, get held and nurtured through Raizcorp, that's very good. The 19 or the 29 who walk out rejected, they're not necessarily lousy businesses, are they?
No. So what we say in when we reject them is that our process is not the right process for them. That it's got nothing to do with their ability as an entrepreneur, just whether the fit is for us. They have other options in terms of government incubation programs and various other NGOs.
Is that safety net big enough, though? Because when people come into you, and any decent entrepreneur is not going to be disheartened by being rejected by you. They'll simply go and find another source of assistance. But there will be some who may be disheartened. And that safety net, I get a sense from the little bit that I do know about this industry, isn't big enough. It's not catching people who have potential but may not be at the point where you're prepared to take them on.
Bruce, I have a different point of view. I believe that most of those people shouldn't actually be applying. They've been inspired to apply falsely under the wrong pretext of what it is to be an entrepreneur. It's very, very much dolled up as something that is easy, and you just go and get a CC and therefore you have a business. That's not reality. So for me, what I'd like to see rather is the way that we inspire entrepreneurs to become entrepreneurial is to tell them the truth, how difficult it is, but what the rewards are as well. We're not getting that across to potential entrepreneurs.
But you don't want to be discouraging the 29 from going through the process, because in that process they may learn something useful, and next year they may be more sort of Raizcorp fit.
100%. So we keep them all on a database. We tell them what they need in order to get into the program, and in many instances they come back 6 or 12 months later and reapply and get in.
And so there have been some success stories on that front.
Yes, in fact we have an ex-Miss South Africa who
Which
applied. I'd rather not say, but she applied and she failed, and 6 months later she reapplied. She didn't tell us who she was, which was fantastic. Mm-hmm. And she got in, and then it was revealed she was an ex-Miss South Africa. And she's actually working out of our offices right now, and she's doing extremely well.
Ex-Miss South Africa the last 5 years or 10 years?
5 years.
Okay, that narrows it down. Allon Raiz is the Chief Executive of Raizcorp.